Hi, and welcome to another process video. Today I'm going to be inking this postcard. Hi, my name is Luis Escobar. I'm a storyboard artist on the Simpsons television show. I've been working on the show for over 25 years now, and I'm here to empower you. So I'll be working over on this postcard over here. It's all done with ink. Even the red is ink. So I'm going to be very quickly talking about just ink. This time, my setup is a little bit different. So you could actually see the ink that I'm using and me dipping into it and stuff. But I thought I'd also record what I do to prep the ink so that you can see what happens there and why I'm going to prep it, because there's some things about ink that took me years to actually realize, and I kind of wish that I knew it before I even started learning to ink so that I could just kind of wrap my head around how ink works. But anyway, I'll talk about that in the video, so let's get started. So as I said, I'm going to talk about me prepping the ink. So if you see here what I'm doing, I have a little toothpick in my hand, and I'm using the toothpick to stir the ink. So the reason I'm doing this is because over the years I've never understood why sometimes the ink has not been, like for example, the black ink has come out gray. When it's supposed to be black. So what happens is that the pigment of the ink goes all the way down to the bottom of the jar. So you want to either shake the bottle, which creates bubbles, which makes it very annoying to be able to ink with because it just gets extra messy. What I've discovered is that you could do it just like most things that you want to stir. I now get a toothpick and then I stir it until finally the pigment and the medium of whatever the ink is on mixes up enough so that the medium and the pigment become one again, like it gets combined. So that's why I started stirring the ink, and it's really important because then that way the ink actually has the values that you want, like the richness that you want. As I usually do with all my drawings, I did the drawing off camera, and I wanted to do an exaggerated version of Conan over here. And I am, again, like I have been for a while now, just trying to map out all the shadow patterns. And I'm going to attempt to not have any visible outline. So even the line for the sword that I just drew right there is meant to be a shadow, a very thin shadow. It's not meant to be a line. So once I map out exactly where my shadows are going to be, then I go in with my Pentel brush pen, one that I am actually using repeatograph ink in, and then I just block in all the blacks. And the way that I usually do it is I try not to be too perfect with it. I want the texture of the paper to come through, and I want the brushy, the kind of like the dry brush looking look of the brush to come through as well. So that way it just has a different feel. It doesn't have like a digital perfect everything is black kind of a feel. It has a roughness to it, which I that's the goal. And just blocking in the blacks. Once in the penciling stage, you have to do a lot of planning. Where do I want my blacks? What's the shadow pattern? And then it's when you get to the ink part, it's just a matter of executing. And sometimes even in the ink part, you saw that I was making it up a little bit as I went along, and then I just, with the black, you just kind of finally make the decisions. And there you go. I mean, that's really the process. But the biggest takeaway that I got from this time around was really thinking about mixing my inks a lot more, especially because in the past, I've never even, I've mixed my inks by shaking the bottle, and it usually, um, it just makes a mess. It just makes it much more messy when you're doing it that way. Here's the tricky part. Trying to get rid of, oh wait, well no, now I get an actual regular brush, and then I'm dipping my brush into the red. Um, and so I had to do it a few times this time around because the red wasn't thick enough. So I have to be careful with that. Just kind of get as much thick so that I could get as much red as possible. But what I was going to say is that the tricky part at this point is the erasing of the pencil line. And it's tricky because I don't know when the ink is dry enough and what areas are going to be dry enough, right? So as I start erasing, I did smudge a few bits, and it's very irritating when that happens. Um, but there you go. That's it. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time. All right, bye.